So, how you doing? My name is Luke Robson. I've decided to make this video to send to you for a few different reasons. But I live up on top of the Streslock Ranges, and I've been watching these crazy lights in the sky for ages now. And I thought there was a few different possibilities. First, I thought obviously Starlink, and then I was unsure about Starlink because I've seen a few of the trains. And then there's Defend Tex, this company that started up, and then I come across an article about these strange lights in 1918, which I thought was also interesting. So I had an incredible experience, but I didn't get it on camera. So the start of this year, on the first of this year, I decided to start filming these lights. And although I really haven't captured some of the crazy stuff I've seen yet, I have got enough stuff that's interesting enough, I think, to start talking about them. I call them the Carrajung Lights. So anytime it's nice and clear, I go outside and I watch these lights, and I usually start just on dusk. So that's why I've got a range of these lights here, just on dusk when you see them. Now, it's been increasing over time, but I reckon if I go outside, usually only for a couple of hours because I don't get tired, um, maybe I'd see, anywhere between 20 to 55 of these lights over about 2 hours. And I see them do all sorts of strange different things. Like, I haven't really captured all of them. I've got a few things coming up where I really explain what's kind of going on. But I've seen lots of things. Like they sort of come in swarms as well. So they're not always just by themselves. Like sometimes you mightn't see any for an hour, then you might see one, and then all of a sudden you might see 30 of them all in the space of about 2 minutes. And then other days, it's like it's different. So there's no real rhyme or reason to what's going on. But it's definitely fascinating. I really get into this thing. I had one go over my head on New Year's Eve, and it was really low, and that made me think these aren't drones. So it really made me wonder what's going on. So this was, I wasn't quite able to capture that, which was a shame. But it was like these streaks of lights coming through, and then they turned into the balls, and like it could have been something burning through an atmosphere, but I don't think it was because I've seen things burn up through the atmosphere and it didn't. It looked almost like electricity charged through, and then these balls then came to life and started moving around. And even though they've disappeared, you're going to see videos coming up soon that I'll show you when I'm following these lights, and that's what they do. They kind of turn off. But I'll just slow the speed down just so you can actually see what's going on. But it was quite incredible. I really wish I had have been able to film it all, but if I keep going out there every night, I might have the opportunity to capture something really amazing. I was just short of this one. There's a few shots where I just haven't quite got it. Now, these lights, I'll show you, sometimes they just disappear. They have the ability to turn the lights on and off. So sometimes, and I've got lots of footage at the end, you'll see they just go for ages, the same light. But every now and then, they just, they'll go lighter, or they might just turn their lights off. I've seen some amazing ones. They just like flat out turn their lights off right in front of me. It's like they see me and they turn the light off, but I haven't actually been able to capture it. But I've been able to get these few that I'm following where you can actually see how the lights turn off, which I think is really kind of bizarre. It's like, oh, there you go, now I'm gone, but obviously they're still up there. But this is a really common theme. Like some nights you mightn't see any of them turn the lights off, but other nights like heaps of them do it. It's like they're lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off. It's really bizarre. Um, Yeah, there's lots of different things these lights do. As I call them, the Carrajung lights. they could be satellites, but I'm going to go through a few theories later. Now, this is when I was reviewing footage, right? So I'm following this light and I'm reviewing the footage, and I saw that flash. Did you see the flash of purple then? Yeah, I slow it down so I can show you. See that flash? Now slow it down again to show you even more. I don't know what this is, but if it was a technical problem with the camera, I've got like a couple of hours of this footage of these lights, and I haven't seen anything like this. It's just this weird flash that flashed the light, and I didn't see it in real time. I only saw it on the playback. I was like, I don't know what it is. Crazy lights, crazy colors though, right? But it just happened so fast. There it is, bam. Yeah, so weird. Now, these pulsating lights, there's heaps of these, but they're really hard to capture because it's not easy to film it. But you can see it at the arrow there, and so they go dark, and then they fill up with light. I've seen some awesome. What they do, they fill up with light, and they keep moving, and then they fill up with light again. And I reckon if I keep out there and keep filming it, I'll get a couple of really good shots of that. I just haven't quite got it because it makes it a bit harder to film. Now um, these flashing lights, they're hard to film because you don't know where they're going to come from. And I've only got some little ones that are here, but I've had some flashing lights that absolutely light up the entire sky, and I swear they're flashing their lights at me. And again, it happens quite a bit, but it's really hard to film it. So sometimes when I see little flashes, I just hold my camera up there trying to get it. And again, it could be satellites, or it could be this Defentex, or it could be just the UFO phenomenon. Because I've got this article that really, I'll get to it later, but it's pretty crazy, this article. Anyway, I've slowed it down so you can really see how these lights flash. So these are the possibilities I'm thinking, right? So when I was researching, I found this peer-reviewed article, and they actually talk about the mysterious lights in Carrajung, where I live. So look at all these. So they actually think these were planes from the war in 1918, and people were saying there's mysterious lights, and the Germans are coming to get us. And there's even one here, the residents of Seaspur, Nottingham Beach see bright lights westward of the place supposed to be in the Carrajung Hills. Now that's where I'm filming from. That's where I live, and these lights were all around then. Um, so it really makes me wonder what the deal is. And in 1918, there was like a coronavirus pandemic as well. Like, not to be a conspiracy theorist or anything, because I am a writer and I have written conspiracy theories, so I have a wild imagination. But I actually think that it's very interesting that people were reporting these lights in Carrajung when, like all those years ago. And obviously, it wasn't the German plane. So what was it? Who knows? And then, of course, you've got this company called Defentex. Now, I first heard about them, I reckon maybe about 8 months ago, because like about 5:30 in the morning, I just so happened to be listening to local news, and our local government representative said how they were giving the money to this company called Defentex, and I reckon they've actually changed their website since I first got there. Because when I jumped on there, because I was right on top of this sort of stuff because of these lights, been watching this for about 12 months now. These lights. And this Defentex used to have all over their website about how, the advanced propulsion systems and that. And I was just looking on the website then, I reckon they've taken all the advanced propulsion stuff down. But it makes me wonder if it is advanced propulsion. And they're doing this, which I think even if it isn't a UFO phenomenon or it's not the Starlink, if they're testing all this stuff right at the top of our heads, it's something we should know. Which, makes sense because the we are in part of a training part of the East Sale RAF base, which is quite a big base. But yeah, so who knows? Maybe it could be them. But then you've got the Starlink. Now, I've seen a couple of Starlink trains, and I've seen stuff that, like, originally I thought this was all Starlink. But then I've seen weird stuff where it makes me think it's not Starlink. Like, now, for instance, I see so many of these lights, and they're only saying that Starlink's got 1,500, maybe 2,000 communication satellites, and then you've got the satellite wars apparently going on with all the different countries. But then they reckon they're going to add, what, another 20,000 of these? Like, the sky would be all, like, satellites. If this is what it looks like with 2,000, then what's the sky going to look like with 40,000? And I can kind of think that all these stories are just as important as each other, whether it's the UFO phenomenon or if it's Defentex or whether it's Starlink. But I've seen one of these Starlink trains, and I reckon I would have seen about 40 of them. And it was interesting because it's exactly what you see on the internet, the trains. I've seen two of them now, but this one time there was about 40 of these lights with the Starlinks going through. And then you actually had like three other lights while this was happening that come up next to them and watched it. You know, and it's all silent. Like, they don't make any noises or anything like that. So it really has me wondering what the deal is. Anyway, I have heaps and heaps of this footage, and I just thought if this is helpful to you in any way. I just don't think they're satellites. Look, I only want to really talk about what I can show you. I've seen some crazy stuff while I've been out there, but I don't want to come across like one of those bonkers persons, because I'm not. I'm not a bonkers person. So I want to be able to show you, but it's very difficult. Like, I'm only using a Canon 7D, the Mark 1, so it's not even a very good camera, but it's a really good lens. It's a 70 to 120mm zoom lens, and I actually didn't even think about filming for ages because I didn't think I'd be able to pick it up. But once I got used to it, I got a little bit better at it. Look, and the thing is, I am a filmmaker, and I've actually made a short film and written a feature film about the disappearance of Frederick Valentich. So I am right into this kind of thing and researching this sort of stuff and this sort of phenomena. I made a short film and won awards all over the world for it. And that's what makes me wonder what the deal is, because, you know, a lot of the stuff around the disappearance of Frederick Valentich actually happened at the East Sale RAF base. And then his actual sightings was in the Dandenong Ranges, and the sightings of these lights in 1918 in the Dandenong Ranges as well, as the same time as these lights were in, you know, Gippsland and Carrajung Hills. Like you saw on that map where it was all scattered, it was mainly all around that area. So I find all this sort of stuff fascinating. So anyway, I don't know what to do with it. So I'm hoping you actually have a look at it, because if you think it is interesting, it's worth having a look at. Do what you want with it. I'm going to keep shooting stuff. If you are interested, let me know, because if I shoot some more cool stuff, I'll send it to you. I'm probably thinking you get heaps of people sending shit to you, so, you know, whatever it is. Anyway, there's lots of footage here to keep looking at. I've got probably a couple of hours worth of footage at the moment, but I just got different highlights of this stuff moving around. It's all raw footage, by the way. Like, I haven't enhanced anything, except if I've told you where I've slowed it down. Or screenshot something, but other than that, I haven't added any, you know, colorization to it or anything. It's just its actual raw footage, time stamped is what I've got on there. Anyway, thanks.